Namaste, I'm Sophia, welcoming you to understand how you can attain any moment as your present moment consciously. In this aspect, you'll learn to discern from what and where, how and when your thoughts are taking you to the present, past, or future. Let's say your awareness will also prompt you to be consciously aware of where your feelings and your thoughts are either on an equilibrium floor or conflicting with what you think and what you feel are not readable to you or to others. Okay? So let's just say that everything you feel comes from the emotional seat, which is your heart center. Okay? Because all your feelings come from there and they're true. What you feel, you express. If you feel love, you feel it, you don't think it. And if you are thinking, then you are probably trying to create a kind of scenario that you probably sit dreaming about if you were in that fairy tale that you are trying to project yourself into as an escape from the reality of the situation that you already are in. Okay, so let's go to how do you get into the seat center of your heart in awareness. Okay, it's an essential step for you to come into this understanding that your heart center is where the whole of you exists. Everything that you feel in your reality of truth, that's where it exists. Okay, and when you are feeling in a more balanced state in that area of your heart center, you feel more empowered. Okay, you feel like you could take on the world and nothing can stand in your way or stop you in your tracks. Okay, so in this, it brings to your awareness that you are on a higher vibrational experience of your truth, and that your heart is also a point of where you're easily able to assess um, the other aspects of others who are in connection, or let's say immediate connectedness with you. That could be either your friends, your family, your colleagues, okay, including your pets and everything around you, and also to a further extent of the guidance that you are reaching out to, whether it's your angels or it's your feelings, your angels, your guides, it's your feelings, or the universe. Again, it's your feelings that will determine how receptively you're able to receive and feel connected to any one area of those aspects. So in this instant, you are going through a simple reflection. How do you assess your feelings? How do you know what you're feeling is what you're feeling? Do you doubt your feelings? When you feel hungry, do you stop and think, am I really feeling hungry? Or am I just feeling hungry? No. Are you in tune to the deepest sense of every word expressed from your heart center? Good. Reflect on that one. Now, let's just say that you may or may not be entirely 100%, and you have uncertain aspects within yourself that you're not sure. Now, we're not talking about so much so about what you're feeling, about what the third person is feeling about you. What are you feeling about you? and what are you feeling about the third person. Because if you spend more time trying to assess and analyze your feelings towards the next person, as does the person love me, the question would be, do you love you? Because if you love you, why would the next person not love you? Have you ever thought about it that way? Good. Now, what do you do in the aspect of you learning to validate after years and years of evaluating your feelings? When you come to a point now you are ready to validate what you feel, validating that when you feel hungry, you feel love, you feel happy, you feel joy, you don't hesitate to question, hello, am I really feeling this? No, you are validating, not evaluating. All right, so in this aspect, your heart center is also known as the heart mind. All right, are you thinking with your heart? Are you feeling with your heart? Because it does both. It actually is known as the heart mind because any feelings that come from there have been validated and are in equilibrium. Okay, so paying attention to your mental body and your mind, that is your heart mind, and bringing your centeredness to your heart mind more, so that your vibrational frequency stays in that space where you're validating the self and all the other selves that you are in relating to. Also, you will notice that as you work with this, namely its observation of the self in your awareness, it brings you to a place where in your mind's heart you focus your attention on what is more inspiring and motivating towards your needs, your desires, your wants, defining and identifying what resonates with your truth. That's what you will notice is really happening. As you pay more attention, as you notice that there is a saying that says where your focus goes, your energy flows. And there's so much truth to that, because if your attention is in the area of your validation, then you will find that it's easy for you to release those outdated, expired, feelings that happened years and years ago. Okay, that really are not serving you now. They aren't serving because you're not in that experience, but you've kept them for some sentimental value, like it's serving you, of which you have to come to a decision if you're ready to now throw all that out by letting it go. As you do this, you will find that in your heart center, your heart seat, the vacancy there allows you to allow so many other sittings to come and join you. And in this, you will find that you have incredible awareness. It's more like an awakening, an activation of the kind of expansion you will have in this heart center. Now, understand also that your heart is also the entrance. It's a doorway, it's a portal where everything else flows in through all the experiences, that when that vacancy is open, it is easy for this light to flow through because it's not cluttered with all the past misgivings and grievances and unserving aspects of experiences, circumstances, situations, people, things, and places, disappointments, in other words, because it is your appointment with that time and it's not your appointment in this time, in this present moment. So it allows you to have a flow and an expansion and a feeling of this vibration that's, swirling in there, pulsating in there, that is beaming out and radiating forth. Yeah. So, what do you do with this moment in your time, your present now, when your attention and energy is in the right place? It places you also in the right place, because a lot of things start opening up. Doors start opening up. They'll find their way towards you because you are now open to receiving. You become a recipient of the good that you want, because there's no clutter in there anymore. And in this, the flow of feeling worthy and love and unconditionality towards yourself is also going to be radiating forth from you, and thus creating a bigger whirlpool of likeness of that energy towards yourself. So let's just say that in any aspect where you find time to relearn how to actually bring yourself to that point of living your life every day in the present, as opposed to projecting yourself years down the road where they're not yet even in conception. This is to prepare you to live, as opposed to merely existing to a futuristic timeline when you are missing your appointment with the current now. Okay, so in this, you will learn how to bring your awareness, your focused awareness, so that this current energy flow of your present moments are saturating your heart seat and bringing you that contentment, assurance, and security and stability that you are finding hard to maintain, because that seat is cluttered with everything that needs to go, and you have to make that choiceful choice now to let it go. All right? Because there's no point carrying the weight of this burden of things that whenever you want to make a step towards realizing you're good in any relationship or opportunity, that the insecurities of the past creep in, and then it gives you a very indecisive, uncertain projection in your actions, because then you're feeling it inside you, and so you will enact it outside of you. All right, so let's say that supposing you make a choiceful choice. This will have to be in also your lifestyle. I have mentioned this over and over and over and over again, that the things that we are more drawn to are the things that we have in the clutters of our mental and emotional body, and they will actually overflow and sip out through our physical body, because that is where you have not really taken into account that it starts affecting the aspect of your mental, emotional, and physical health as well. Now, let's just say also in the aspect of what you involve yourself with. The kind of movies you watch, the kind of music you listen to, the kind of people you hang around with, the kind of, let's just say, the kind of job occupations you choose. Are they coming from fear? Is it because you're working because you just have to make money? Is it because you're worrying about your bills? Or have you thought that you could apply your potential talent, and you could also project and your innate potential self to the things? Maybe you're good at doing something, and you could create time to do the things that you're passionate about, and that also could bring in an extra inflow of your funds. Yeah, so the idea of lack is also another thing that you've got to get out. You've got to throw out, you've got to let go of. It doesn't matter what experience you had before and where you're coming from, and if at the end of the day you had to do without, you're carrying this along. So every time something good comes along, you're going to hoarder because of your fear of lack. What if I don't? What if I retire 10 years from now and I'm going to have nothing? Okay, so your projected fear is also holding you back from realizing every moment that is sacred in your present moment, that you can easily turn it into that sacred moment, your present now. All right, so the other thing that you need to also become aware of is your part in the real world. There is your world, the world that you exist in, and the world of your mind and your heart, and the privacy of your space. And there's also the world that you interact with, where you come into contact with the real world and the realities, and how you perceive them, as whether they're harsh realities, uh, what's been subjected in the outer world. Okay, so working with your innate intuitive aspect is where you clear the clutter within your mental and emotional body, that is your heart. Okay, and your projected inner eye, that is the how you perceive things from the inside. Okay, and allow yourself to saturate yourself with a lot of sense of beingness, in that state where you choose that nothing outside is going to upset the flow of what you have validated to be your truth in this aspect. Okay, so understand that if everything within you is flowing from unconditionality and love and light, then it neutralizes everything outside of you. Okay, but you have to have that in order for you to give it out. Yeah, so you've got to cultivate that within yourself. In the aspect of your greater focus, where you need to create balance between what and where you are in the aspect of your now, in what situation you're in, and you want to start by creating that balance so that you can be in a place of love and to make a vibrational shift with the energies around you, and to more or less you know move with that shift and that flow. Yeah, and this is going to so greatly help you to enhancing your reality, in aiding you to create your reality, and for you to be in more focused awareness, because it's the main key, it's a major role, and you are the one that holds the key to open any door that you want to, in the areas of what you want to manifest in the realities of your own life. So if you're focusing on what you're worried about and what you don't want and what you don't like, and you're actually vibrationally drawing more of that kind of vibrational frequency into your experiences, into your life, into your space, into your environment, and into the space between you and the relating with the other selves. Okay, so it's important, relatively important, to stay focused and allow that where your deepest, highest intention, intentional focus is, that your energy is flowing in that aspect. Okay, so the other thing is also to stay positively focused and be optimistic. I find and I hear a lot of people say it's easy for you to say that I should be more optimistic when my situation is in this blah 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 situation. And I'm like, if you keep singing a song of sixpence about your situation, you're not going to move beyond that. So what you need to do is to work and take one step at a time in becoming aware that being optimistic doesn't mean that you are pretending your situation does not exist. No, you are pacifying the situation, like saying that hope is also playing a great role, because you're putting that hopefulness within yourself to make that step and to take that shift by seeing the good, the possibilities and probabilities that could change within a blink of an eye, yeah, within a drop of a hat, things like that. So staying positively focused and optimistic about what you're creating in your life, because this also helps to bring about alignment, and you're going to be energetically infusing your intention through awareness. Okay, so a lot of everything you've learned and read and um, heard about the laws of attraction and what how to, and what is missing from this great aspect of all that, where in the trying to bring about this law of attraction into play, into reality of your manifestation, is that you are the biggest piece of the puzzle. You, your energy, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, your actions, your attitude, okay, that create your life reality in experience, and what manifests and what will continue to manifest. Think about that, because in order for you to actually move away from the things that you don't want, you have to recognize them. In order for you to move towards the things that you do want, you have to define them, and you have to also have corrected your emotions and your thoughts about them, and also to be able to recreate, by taking steps that you become more enthusiastic about, and what resonates with your truth, and flowing with the unlimited aspect, potential, authentic self, because it's possible. No one says that it can't happen. Who says that it can't happen? You say that it can't happen. Who says I can't do this? You do. The universe is not saying to you that this is not possible, you can't do this, or it's too far-fetched. No, that inner dialogue you have with yourself constantly, all the time, consciously or unconsciously, undermining, and it determines where and how you are going to actually make this shift. So if you want to make changes in your life where it involves your finances or your occupation, then you've got to project and see yourself in that setting. You got to, simply put, actually, you've got to start walking your talk as opposed to talking your talk, okay? Because everything that you actively will anticipate, putting one brick at a time, working with one area in your life at a time, and actually your belief in what you're doing and what you're working towards will actually accelerate your faith in yourself and everything else out there. All right, so you got to always understand and allow that aspect of your attentive self, and in the aspect of paying attention also to how your energy is flowing outward in order for it to flow back inward. Yeah, so this is the part where you actually have to understand. Now, if we take into a more dire need of understanding the deeper sense of how focused can you be, okay, as focused as you're focused when you're driving, as focused as you're focused when you're writing, as focused as you're focused when you're eating, as focused as you're focused when you're applying makeup, as focused as you're focused when you're dressing up. You don't train yourself to be focused. When you're applying lipstick, you're not training yourself to apply lipstick focusedly, because even when you're not having a mirror, you know where your lips are and you know exactly how to, to apply it. Why? Because you have the confidence. Why? Because you believe. Why? Because you trust. Why? Because you have faith. Okay? So, it's called mindfulness. It's important for you to always be mindful about what it is you are in thought, in dialogue, thought and emotional dialogue. Okay? And in that moment, you are free to choose positively how you want to react to any one given situation that you are entertaining or accepting, or rejecting, and how you're projecting yourself in that aspect, and what are the remnants of the residues of that. Do you say no and then afterwards beat yourself and wish that you hadn't, and you start creating dialogue? Or she's probably thinking this now after I said no, and or probably no, I wish I hadn't. So you go into the deep regret mode. I wish I hadn't said this, because if I hadn't said this, then I don't know, maybe she wouldn't talk to me tomorrow, and she's going to tell everybody. And oh, listen to yourself. The only bestseller you're penning is the one to yourself, because you're not really going to sell that on the shelf. You are going to keep reading the pages and feeling more low and low and low and low. And so this prevents you from living in the present. Your sacred present moments, you know, are overridden. They're taken over by every moment you have a free time. You want to keep playing the same record over and over again. So this is the aspect of what you need to bring to your attention. And in that, you can, because instead of flowing your attention towards things that are already known and you've passed them and that they're not serving you anymore, you can spend more time to creating space for new things you want to experience and new things to happen in your present now. And this is where you need to declutter your heart center and allow your heart mind to be more receptive to the inflow of new energy, validated energy. So let's talk about your present moment and the kind of power you have, because you're a potential being. You're not just the limited person. You and everything outside of you keeps dictating to you or saying to you, because you can discern to choose what to accept and what not to accept. Okay, instead of actually internalizing it and filing it away as if it's very important. So you can focus on re-strengthening yourself in your emotional aspect, because you're strong. Nothing can drop you, nothing can override your strength unless you allow it. And you allow it by entertaining it and allowing it to saturate and to make you feel less of yourself than you really are. Okay, so you've got to always know that whatever you will override a negative with is, it's not by saying I'm not that, it's by saying I am strong. Supposing someone tells you, you're so weak. No, they may say it. You don't need to reply, because internally you override that by saying I am strong. Okay, and that goes with everything else. Okay, you continue to nourish that aspect of your divine aspect of divine love by understanding that it's what you will accept, and you will continue to saturate and expand within your heart's mind. So in the aspect of where you need to learn, need is something that you believe it's got to stay there, like the very air. You need your air, and there are some basic necessities that you need, you can't do without. This is one of the things you can't do without. You need to clean that heart seat center. You need to raise your vibration frequency so that it can work with you all the time in all situations, because it is what you will learn to become dependent on as you depend on the very air that you breathe. All right, so at this moment, understand that what you will sow now, you will harvest. You will continue to harvest the good of your heightened vibrational energy, and you don't need to worry about what's going to happen in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You can make your appointments, but sometimes you'll find that your appointments also don't happen, because you will say that I'll see you at 5, and you get a flat tire, or you miss the bus, or you don't get a transport, and things like that. So allow yourself to trust that the universe manages and maintains your timetable. Your time management is run effectively on a flow of what's to happen, when's to happen, how it's to happen, it's going to. And it's always going to bring good, favorable outcomes, because you're not anticipating of the worst scenario. Yeah, instead of saying I'll meet you at 5, but I'm not so sure if I'm going to get transferred. Once you say I'll meet you at 5, trust that any possibility of you wanting to be in that meeting at 5 is going to happen. Okay, so these are the little things and little dialogues that you need to pay attention to. And worrying too far out into tomorrows and the tomorrows of tomorrows and the weeks and months and years to come, those are things that you allow the universe to present the experiences that you are to experience before you, instead of you contemplating and worrying and being perturbed about what if it doesn't work out into the futuristic future. All right, what is the other thing I want to bring to your attention is your highest intentions. Your highest intentions is to always be in the opening of your present, staying in the present, being open in the present, sharing your joys in the present, eating in the present. You don't eat in the future. And no point worrying about whether you're going to have food in the future, because you know if you're not going to eat now, and you're probably not going to be healthy enough to see the future. So everything that happens in your life happens in that one moment, that present moment. Okay, and that's where your focused attention is supposed to be, so as your flow of energy in heightened vibration and your frequency to match that from the outside in and the inside out is on the same equilibrium flow. And also always show of gratitude. Okay, showing gratitude. Oh, it's a beautiful sunny day, I'm so thankful. The meal was great, I'm so thankful. I'm nourished, I'm so thankful. I'm thankful to everything and everyone around me that makes my life so easefully better, okay, even if you're not feeling well, I'm thankful that my health is improving, and work towards that from the seat heart, in your feelings towards your heart spine. How are you feeling? Are you feeling hindered, or like, this is an example, probable example, that oh shit, I hate this, I hate that I'm not feeling well, I hate this, I have to miss this, I hate my bloody periods, I hate my periods have come on this, they restrict me. See, probabilities in dialogue that you say to yourself that reflect about how you feel about you. Nothing is hindering you, because there are always options and alternatives about what it is you can do about any one given situation. You have a choice. There are options, and you are to make the best choiceful choice to maintain your vibrational flow in every aspect of your eternal now, in the present moments of the sacredness that experience brings to you. I'm Sophia, sending you lots and lots and lots of love and light and graceful blessings. Welcome to yourself.